We will rock you. Or at least that's what the latest virus is trying to do. Learn more on how you can protect yourself. Just a moment. Welcome to the WorkHARDAholic Show with your host, the original WorkHARDaholic, Shirley Crawford, author, speaker, and small business consultant for over 20 years, helping you to work hard, play harder, and business better. Hello, 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 and welcome back to the WorkHARDaholic Show. I am Shirley Crawford, your host, and today we're going to cover a few different things because there's a lot going on in our society, our community, our world. But I want to start off with, as a business owner, right? We have priorities. And I admit, like any other, we want to make money. If you're not making money, it's a hobby, it's not a business. We understand that. But are you willing to make money at the expense, even the health of another person? So normally on our high horses, we say, no, that would never be us. But if we came and looked at your principles, how often is it you're like, oh, it's okay, it's no big deal? Well, I look at this example. Recently, there's a study that came out from UC Berkeley, and it showed that tampons are toxic. All right. So for those of you men, you might not think this applies to you, but I sidebar. I have seen recently that several men have been utilizing tampons to stop nosebleeds. I saw it in a movie once and I thought it was a joke, but apparently, like, guys have actually been doing that. So this can apply to you or to your wives, your mothers, your girlfriends, the females in your life. So pay attention. So what has happened is that they have found carcinogenics. I want to make sure I get them all right. The study showed that 50 to 80% of all girls and women who menstruate, it's okay, guys. It's okay. You're right. You can listen to this. Okay. That use tampons. Um, and that's normally at least 1 week of the month. Every female knows this, but men, just in case we're updating you so that you know as well. All right. And so according to the studies, they were saying that there are heavy metals inside of the tampons. And so we go, okay, well, heavy metal, it sounds like a rock band. No, we're talking about 16 metals that can be totally toxic, like arsenic. You know, the thing you use to kill the bugs and rodents in your house? Barium, calcium, cadmium, cobalt, chromium, copper, iron, manganese, mercury, nickel, lead, selenium, strontium, vanadium, and zinc. And you go, okay, well, is it a particular brand? Is it a particular company that we should be looking at and targeting at? No. Apparently there are, they looked at 30 different tampons from 14 different brands. And you go, is it just those greedy Americans? No. Europe has the same problem. So they studied tampons in both the US and Europe. And this included organic, right? So for those of you out there going, well, I use, this includes you as well. And so, I don't know the names of the brands because they didn't share them. But the point is that there is this problem. And so I find it interesting from a personal side that I'm pretty sure my mother told me this when I was a child, right? So I used to listen to the package about toxic shock syndrome, but that was from, inserting some random thing inside of your body every week, every month. Um, but outside of that, like, there have been some suspicions. The thing that the researchers say is kind of astounding is the fact that it's only just being tested, it's only just being realized, it's only just being recognized. And so a part of the concern is that if you're delicate, cover your ears, okay? But the part that, the vagina, I don't know how else to tell you, is it's one of the most sensitized areas of the female, and it's a part where the skin where it saturates a lot more. So the question is, how much of this is going into a woman's body? I'm curious to know, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I'm looking at facts and I'm going, how much of this plays into like cancer and other things that we look at a woman like, why do we have these problems? I'm just curious. Hopefully more studies are going to be done. At present, they don't even, this is the interesting thing. From the research, they're not saying ladies throw away your tampons. That's not what's happening. I would say it, but hey, that's another story. They're saying more studies are needed, be aware of what you're utilizing, etc. All of that aside, I only share that story. I'm off my soapbox. I only share that story um, to say, for you as a business owner, you as an entrepreneur, right? I there are so many ways that we look to try to cut corners to make money. I mean, that's the bottom line, right? We're trying to put in as little as possible and get out the most that we can in output as far as profit is concerned. I understand that. I am with you all the way. I want to make my dollars stretch as much as you do. I want to be able to earn enough money to take care of my family, to take the trips, to do the things that I want to do, and to live a happy life of retirement. But the question becomes, to what expense? So one of the things we talked about previously, it was we talked about why we get an LLC. I've talked about it many times, right? We get an LLC, limited liability corporation, to cut down on how much we can be sued for. That's really the bottom line. We limit our liability. We also talked about how when it comes to C corps and S corps, that if you're looking to sue the individual, it only happens after you have pierced the corporate veil, right? So that means it has to be really intentional, that it has to be a company. I'm here in Richmond, Virginia. It has to be the Dominion Energy, which is right on the water in a beautiful location that used to be owned by the James River Corporation. If they decided to dump toxic waste into the river rather than pay for it to be disposed, it would have to be that blatant before you can actually sue individuals. I'm sure Dominion Energy would never do that. Okay? And so we know that there's this level of blatant concern, but there's small things that we're doing that aren't benefiting our clients and our customers. Outside of the fact that customer service is now out the window and something that no one understands or does very well anymore, I shouldn't say no one. I apologize. It's few and far between that you'll get that, quote unquote, Chick-fil-A type of customer service on a day-to-day basis. It's an anomaly. All right. Aside from all of that, are you in your business cutting a corner that you know in the end is not going to benefit your client? So I talk about, and I've talked about before, the auto industry, right? I talked about that study that I learned about when we were doing our MBA classes eons ago, about how car makers were decreasing the quality of the components in order to make sure that you came back to buy another car and it not be 20 years in between. And I say this right now because little things are going wrong on my vehicle, and I know it's intentional, right? So when you're the consumer, you care. But I want to know, when you're the business owner, when you're the one who's making this product, do you care then? Do you care to know that you had your demos made in China, and possibly you knew that the rubber that they were using, or the plastic that they're using, or that red dye that keeps coming up as a problem is in your products, and maybe you should have spent a little bit more to keep it safer? So, not to be really to come off my high horse, I promise. I just really want us to think and focus as we're looking at this case or this example of the studies with tampons. All right. It's important for you to know, as your business, like, that company knew what was going into that. The same way that Philip Morris knew what they were putting into cigarettes. We're right here in Richmond. We all know what happened at the end of that case. But it took a lot of time, energy, and lawsuits for that to come to light and to be settled. I don't want that to be you, for you and your business. So I would suggest that you look internally at your processes, your procedures, your products, and what you're using to create your service, and make sure that you're providing the best for your client. Because in the end, if you really give a quality service, you'll end up with a quality client. All right. More to come right after this commercial break. We'll see you in just a moment. Are you only identified as mommy, as the employee, as the worker bee? Well, you know what? It's time for you to be identified as you. There is more to you than your function for others. Come discover it at the Diva Mastermind Retreat. That stands for doing it very authoritatively. It's time for you to find your voice, find your place, and make your mark. Join us October 7th through 11th this year in 2024 in Outer Banks, North Carolina, where we'll help you with mastermind moments. We'll help you with seminars, sessions, and the camaraderie of other boss ladies just like you. Don't forget to join us for the fun. Visit Diva Mastermind at groovepages.com to get your ticket today. Only 3 spots left. We'll see you then.
At Richmond Dentistry for Children, Dr. Randy Adams and Dr. Brandon Allen are crazy about your kids and their teeth.
With compassionate care, our professional staff treats your kids like they were our own.
Call us today to make an appointment at 804-780-2682. 2888 or check us out on the web at richmonddentistryforchildren.com. Let Richmond Dentistry for Children take care of your kids' teeth today for a healthy tomorrow.
Listen, attorney Alex Taylor is a soldier in a suit, defending anyone with criminal charges, DUIs, and more. Call Alex Taylor, your soldier in a suit, at 804-500-5000.
I'm Alex Taylor. Don't face your criminal charges alone. Put a former prosecutor with 30 years of experience on your side. Let me show you how a soldier fights for your freedom.
Call 804-500-5000 or go to alextaylorlaw.com.
Life can be a struggle. Find hope, healing, and answers at the Abundant Life Church of Christ, a place to encounter God through uplifting worship, singing, prayer, the preach word, and fellowship. One step can change your life. One step could shift your destiny. There has never been a better time to take that step than now. Come be our guest every Sunday at 10 a.m. at the Abundant Life Church of Christ, a place where you belong.
WorkHARDAholic. Looking for resources to start, build, or level up your business? Want to know what motivates your favorite entrepreneur? Did you miss the last show? No worries. Check out and subscribe to the WorkHARDAholic YouTube channel. See behind the scenes. Hear the extended version of interviews. Catch one of our trainings. Missed the show? No worries. Like, share, subscribe our YouTube channel at WorkHARDAholic, and happy entrepreneuring. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Okay, so as many of you know, I have been a small business consultant for over 25 years now. Yes, gray hairs are real and legit. Okay, and so I often get the question of, am I really an entrepreneur? And I love the question. I find it so fascinating that people would ask, right? As if there's a qualifier. Here is the thing to know. Almost all of my entrepreneurs tend to have a billion different, I said a billion with a B, a billion different ideas, right? They're constantly thinking of, oh, I could do this to make that better. Oh, I could provide this service to make that better. Oh, I could do this. If you're one of those people, then you're constantly having these ideas of ways to make it more productive, to make it better, to make it happen. More than likely, you're an entrepreneur. Welcome to the club. So here is the thing, though. Having a bunch of ideas is nice, but not helpful. So part of the reason why I do consulting, why we started the center, is because it's so easy to have an idea, but what does it take to move that idea along, right? So I want to talk to you all just for a moment on how you finesse, how you come down to understanding from the idea and concept into making it a reality. If you've been with me for a while, and it's been a few years of us being together now, if you've been with us for a while, you know I love to talk about reverse engineering. And so that's what I want to do right now. So, and this is something I teach in my classes. See, you're getting a free class right here, right now, just for you, or at least a mini one. So here's the thing. When you have multiple ideas, or if you're out there and you're really an employee who has an idea, you are a side hustler, but you still have a concept, this works for you as well. Okay? All right, let's go. So we start off with which of the ideas is the one that actually makes money. It's really that simple. Right? I have lots of things that I can do as a hobby. I have lots of things that I'm bored and I just need to, I can go knit a sweater. Actually, I can't. I can knit a blanket. I can't knit a sweater. Right? But is someone going to buy it? If not, it was just something I did to relax myself, to relieve tension, to increase my skill set, but it's not making me money. A lot of times we have these ideas and you have to be able to know, well, is this one what you're going to contribute into society? But if it's not making money, it's your gift to the community. So you figure out of all these ideas, which I always say work in threes. Bring all 20 bazillion down to three. Of those three, compare and figure out some basic things. Which one makes money? Which one is a low-hanging fruit? Which one can you start right now? Which one has the easiest access to entry of access? All right. So when you can figure that out, so if you know that, hey, I want to start I really want this business over here, but it's going to require me getting demos done, and I'm going to have to get a partner in China, and I'm going to have to do this, I'm going to have to do that. You can be working on that in baby steps in the background. In the foreground, if you know that you can go right now and over a weekend, you can produce um, various outfits or various, whatever your skills, various websites, right? Here's the thing about websites. They're extremely popular right now. I just want to say for the record, I'm not going back to doing them, but they are. And now you have all these AI softwares that'll help you do them. It's a great business model, FYI. So if I'll use the website since I said that. There are websites out there that will actually do the websites for you. You pay your monthly fee and then you can sell them off to all kinds of people. So let's say that's the one you want to start with, because even though there's a dollar amount attached to starting, it's really not that high. And furthermore, then you can actually pre-sell the website. In case you didn't know, I get paid up front for all of my services, although that's consulting, another story. Then you can take that money, invest it into the software that does the software that does the websites, and then go sell them. It can be that simple. So if you have something like that where it's not that complicated to get started, then that's something to consider. Then when you figure out for which of these ones of your ideas does this apply, then you're going to determine, well, where does your passion lie? Because there are things that I can do. I have skill sets that I very rarely use. They're not passion points for me. They're things that I know how to do, but I don't necessarily want to do. So if you're sitting down, and I didn't start off by saying you should have, I love a good Excel spreadsheet, a number spreadsheet if you're a Mac user, pen and paper. Composition books are on sale right now. They're selling school supplies on sale. Grab one, and you should be writing this out. It's not enough to just think about it, because thinking about it doesn't lead you to the next step. You sit down, pen and paper, write it out, have your electronic spreadsheet. I like to do both because we all have different ways of learning. So typing is one thing. Writing, actually, it connects with your brain in a different way to help you remember. And then when you see that information you've written down, read it, review it, repeat it. Okay? So once again, my lovely entrepreneurs out there, you have all these ideas. First things first, dwindle them down to 3. Take those 3 and make a comparative study to figure out which one is going to actually make money, which one is an easy access. I don't know why my point of access, entry point. I don't know why that's not working for me today. Oh, guess that wasn't so easy for me to get into. All right, so which one is the easiest for you to start, right? And then you're going to figure out which one are you the most passionate about. Then take that information and create a little timeline to say, you know what? I'm not as passionate about making the websites, but I know that I can make $500 for each one. It's going to cost me $40 a month for my software. I have to actually make the connection with people to sell the websites and all that good stuff. Okay. So, and then you're going to take that money and say, okay, well, I'm really interested in this project that's a lot more detailed, requires a lot more money. So reinvest the money you made over here into the business that you want to create. Hopefully that didn't sound very confusing or convoluted. I really just want you to know that when you have all these ideas, that's fine. But you've got to move from ideation to realization. Like, you've got to make it happen. Okay? All right. And if you have any other business questions that you'd like to ask, please drop your message to admin@workhardaholics.com. All right. We'll be right back, and we're going to talk about the Rock U 2024 virus. Woo! And is your password information out there? Find out right after this break.
Listen, attorney Alex Taylor is a soldier in a suit, defending anyone with criminal charges, DUIs, and more. Call Alex Taylor, your soldier in a suit, at 804-500-5000.
I'm Alex Taylor. Don't face your criminal charges alone. Put a former prosecutor with 30 years of experience on your side. Let me show you how a soldier fights for your freedom.
Call 804-500-5000 or go to alextaylorlaw.com.
At Richmond Dentistry for Children, Dr. Randy Adams and Dr. Brandon Allen are crazy about your kids and their teeth.
With compassionate care, our professional staff treats your kids like they were our own.
Call us today to make an appointment at 804-780-2888 or check us out on the web at richmonddentistryforchildren.com. Let Richmond Dentistry for Children take care of your kids' teeth today for a healthy tomorrow.
Ladies, are you looking to move your office from your kitchen table to a space of your own? Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Are you looking for co-working and community? Well, then come join us at the Women's Business Center, RVA, located at 1510 Willow Lawn Drive, Suite 100, directly across the street from the Kroger at Willow Lawn. Visit us on the web at wbcrva.com or on social media at WBCRVA. When you're ready for more than just office space, come join the WBCRVA family. Are you only identified as mommy, as the employee, as the worker bee? You know what? It's time for you to be identified as you. There is more to you than your function for others. Come discover it at the Diva Mastermind Retreat. That stands for doing it very authoritatively. It's time for you to find your voice, find your place, and make your mark. Join us October 7th through 11th this year in 2024 in Outer Banks, North Carolina, where we'll help you with mastermind moments. We'll help you with seminars, sessions, and the camaraderie of other boss ladies just like you. Don't forget to join us for the fun. Visit Diva Mastermind at groovepages.com to get your ticket today. Only 3 spots left. We'll see you then. Got a question about your small business? Trying to figure out what to do to start a business? Are you a C-suite executive trying to figure out some leadership tools and resources that you need? Well, we've got answers for you. Submit your questions, concerns, thoughts to admin@WorkHARDAholics.com. That's WorkHARDAholics.com. And you might hear your question, or at least the answer to it, on our next episode. Welcome back. Welcome back again. All right. So this is no laughing matter. All right. So at this point, I want to tell you all about, if you haven't heard, there's a new virus out. And I say new because a lot of us haven't heard about it. Have you heard about the RockU 2024 virus? Now, for those of you who are geeking out and you've been here before, there was a RockU 2021 virus that a lot of us didn't hear about either. But let me educate you about what's going on right now. So one of the concerns of what has transpired is that there have been 10 billion, that's a B, 10 billion passwords leaked. And they have shown up on the dark web. And I think it's fascinating that it's someone's, we talked about cybersecurity earlier, it's someone's job to be aware of what's happening in the dark web so that we can be aware and be protected. So thank you for doing your job, keeping us informed. All right. So what has happened is that 10 billion passwords have been leaked. And so a lot of times we don't think about it until we've been impacted. And I dare to say that some of you have received those letters in the mail, and they look so generic now that you might not even pay any attention. But you'll get a letter from a company, an agent that says, "We're sorry to report that our information was hacked and our data was breached." Let me use their terminology. "And your information may or may not have been shared. We will provide you with a free 1 year, whatever, 1 year of identity theft or protection if you call this number, do this email." And it's becoming so commonplace. I have a feeling that a lot of you aren't even opening the letters, don't even know the difference. Although that is a year of free identity theft. I don't know what happens after the year. Okay, but there's that happening. So it's so commonplace that we're not always paying attention, but I need us to pay attention because the hacking is getting bigger and better and more advanced, and it's having a much larger impact than ever before. So before we talked about United Health and the issue, what happened with them and their medical data being breached and all that information, but they're still dealing with that. So at this point, we're on the RockU 2024 virus. As I said, 10 billion passwords have been leaked. There was one instance that they were talking about in the news the other day of a woman who Because of this, there were Amazon purchases being made in her name. The fortunate thing is she gets alerts about every time Amazon something is purchased. So she was able to go in and stop it. And she only lost, I don't know, a few $100s. For some of you, that might not be an only, but considering the possibility of what she could have lost, that's a lot, right? And so what we need you to be aware of is that hackers are getting better, right? They're getting so finessed. And so I know eons ago, I have to find the old episode. We talked about how you can go in and protect yourself online, right? We talk about the basics, like when someone emails you, you always check who's it from. And you don't go by the name because that's just the name. You actually, hover over it. If you have to click it and see what the address is. So if I tell you it's coming from Amazon and you look at the email and it says XYZ at university, blah, blah, whatever, if it doesn't match, then you know not to open that email. But they're getting so good at it that it looks like the real stuff. All right. So today I want to quickly share with you all some of the ways you can protect your business, right? Because Rock You 2024, 10 billion passwords. It's not the last, it's not the first, it's not the last, right? And so I want to give you six ways to help protect your business with regards to your cybersecurity, etc. All right. So the first one is stop being cheap. Buy a robust cybersecurity software. And there are lots of options out there. Admittedly, there are some that are free. And even in that, you have antivirus, then you have malware. Malware deals with the ads and the ad pop-ups that happen on your screen. And so, and then there are the more where people are trying to send you worms. That sounds gross, but it is. It's what they call them. When they say you get an email, there's a worm in there. And so the worm, the intent of the person on the other end could just be to annoy you. It could be to show their skill set. It could be to destroy you. There's a whole gambit. So a worm in your system could give you all these pop-ups. It used to be that people would send you worms and you would get a bunch of porn on your computer, right? But now they're taking your information, they're infiltrating your workplaces. So for those of you who are employees, or even those of you who are working for or working with an entrepreneur, that once you get into one, you can get into all. Like that's why we talk about firewalls and all that good stuff. Okay, sorry, I got stuck on number one. Let me quickly get through the rest of this list. Number two, back up your data, people. Regularly back up your data. So if you're like I am, then my computer is set automatically to back up. So there's a daily backup, and then I do a monthly, like deep dive backup. And so in between, like I will delete the monthlies or whatever the case may be. So if you don't have, we talk about external hard drive with a few terabyte or some way. I am not a cloud backer upper. I don't have the cloud now. We don't get along that way. So in general, you have to figure out how you're going to do it. Number three, educate your team. Educate yourself and then educate your team to make sure that they're not doing any of the not so bright behavior that will put you or your business at risk. Number four, my least favorite, implement a strong password policy. So now, depending on what your system you're using, they are suggesting to you strong passwords, right? If you need to, there are software management packages, softwares, right? Where you can actually save all your passwords so that you don't have to remember them. And they'll actually help you to remember them. You can utilize it if you so desire. Keep in mind that while you can create a strong password that has the capital letters and the symbols, you can also consider setting up anytime that you have the ability a second factor authentication for your passwords. Okay. Then, number five, regularly update your systems. So, when you allow yourself to be on one version and there's a current version, most of the time that Windows or your Apple community is sending you an update, it's because there's a security problem. There's some place they see that they can get that others can get in, so they say, "Hey, we saw the problem, we fixed it. Make sure you keep yourself updated." Then number six, hire someone who has this skill set. Hire a cybersecurity expert. Woo! All right. So one more time, let me go through the list of how to protect your business from cyber attacks. One, purchase a robust cybersecurity software. Two, regularly back up your data. Three, educate your team. 4, implement a strong password policy. 5, regularly update your systems. And 6, hire cybersecurity experts. We hope this information helps you and your business prosper and do well. And as we always say, live better, do better, be better, and happy entrepreneuring. Ta-ta. Like, share, subscribe, repeat. Like, share, subscribe, repeat. 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 Thanks for tuning in to WorkHARDaholics. Support our show by following on YouTube and all major social media platforms at WorkHARDaholic. Until next week, happy entrepreneuring.